Hello, hello. Ebony Phoenix is back. And, with things happening so quickly and fast paced these days, man, it's hard for me to even keep up. But I wanted to drop this podcast on you to let you know how I feel with my commentary. Now, trigger warning, if you are a marching, pro-lifing kind of person, you might want to skip this one because here I believe in a woman's choice, a woman's choice to keep a child or to not have a child. I think that is squarely on her shoulders because basically the responsibility truly is squarely on her shoulders. So let's get into this. Now, Alice in Dustyland. Remember, ladies, you are Alice. All right? You're Alice. And, a lot of black women and black girls live in Blackistan. I call it Dustyland. So, now, okay, Alice, it's time for blue balls and all, y'all. Okay. Last week, on Friday, as expected, the Supreme Court of the United States overturned Roe v. Wade. I hope those people are not getting any sleep. And I hope to never see this day because anti-abortion people also have a problem with contraception. I can understand you're kind of squeamish about the abortion debate and abortions occurring. But to say that people have no right to contraception is basically infringing on a very, very personal civil right that the government has no authority to poke its nose into. So they, the Supreme Court of the United States, conservative billionaires, and regressive religious cults, i.e. churches, using congressional peons and presidents. Okay, let's talk about these presidents. Okay, fuck up number 40, bitch number 41, I play with my penis 42, dumb 43, slick 44, and dope 45. He's more than a 40 ounce. And now Dementia 46, who did not champion our cause. And now here we are. The access to abortion is not the only domino to fall. We have those yet to fall. They are trying to outlaw Plan B, IUDs, and all contraceptions in some cases. Now, that's hardly fair, right? I ain't Catholic. Good Lord. I'm not some type of fundamentalist Christian, though I do identify as Christian. Now, why would somebody want to do something like this? Why? Control. They want control over your reproductive lives, who you can partner with, and what you can be, and what type of education you can have, and what type of sex people have, etc., etc. These people are truly neo-Confederates. I call them that. I mean, I'm not kidding. Take them seriously now. We are fighting the ideas of the 19th century again, where women and people of color knew their place. Thanks to a white woman, Justice Coney Barrett, and a black man, Justice Thomas. Where are our allies now? The economy will take a blow because most households need two incomes. And even sometimes, one person can't even make it on one income. What are they doing? Okay, it's the two E's. Economics and ego. Think about it. The Chinese economy is slowing down and they need a new labor supply. So, hey, how about go do that colonialism thing in Africa again? They're indebted to Chinese government and banks, so that might be another place of exploitation, right? Again, right? Instead of the Europeans, let us do it this time. And we can just say if they can't pay us those billions back for building airports, that airport is ours. How you like me now? American business needs a new cheap labor supply. And slavery basically worked, y'all. I mean, there's little overhead, um, great reward for the very few. We need new sweatshop workers. Okay? So let me think. Offshoring isn't as lucrative as it was before. So indebted Americans should be forced to work. Yeah. Yeah. So these neo-Confederates get to reenact the cause of the Civil War and win and feel good about it. Being poor and white is preferable to being black and enslaved. Easy peasy, right? Cheesy shit. The food and formula shortages are real. SCOTUS had this plan all along, folks. They played the long game, 50 years to fuck you over. Turn over a human right that will be denied in many states controlled by maniacal, pseudo-religious churches, legislatures controlled by white dudes who want a 1950s America. America in the 1950s, it's a neo-Confederate's wet dream. And the word neo-Confederate, I refer to this word to refer to people who basically want that good old American apple pie shit back in the 1950s. You know, the world that the baby boomers grew up in, not the horrible 1960s and 1970s where everybody was getting rights. Can't have that happen, right? The America in the 1950s. America in the 1950s. Let's see. It sucked for black people and women who wanted to be more than a breeder in heels and hoop skirts. Okay? Domestic violence and sexual violence were just a part of marriage. Go back to your husband, honey. Oh, you're not married? What's wrong with you? You're an old maid. Black people in the South suffered taxation without representation in the apartheid American South. You know, black folks didn't move. I mean, where their ancestors were enslaved and land taken away. Some folks got that 40 acres and a mule. It was taken away from them. Black women and girls were sexually assaulted with impunity. According to the law, we were non-humans who could not be sexually assaulted because, we wanted it. Look up Senator Strom Thurmond. No economic resources, Jim Crow laws, and that anti-miscegenation laws and customs that went on down there. Like my grandparents said you had to kind of get off the sidewalk when a white person approached you. That kind of garbage. It'll never be over. When black people tried self-sufficiency, terror usually ensued. It's all about their frail ass ego. They are willing to kill democracy to hurt you. So don't give up. So, okay, Alice, that's you, baby. What's next? The men of the Black collective are not working to save you and the community. They are looking out for themselves, sweetie. And they're not even looking out for each other much. For all Black girls and women, it is crunch time, baby. This is not the time for the usual emotional irrationality of the Black collective. The highest prevalence of sexual assault and STIs of any U.S. demographic, that's us, right? We have very few men in the collective, okay? Only boys. Boys who are homicidal, violent, predatory, enraged, male beings acting with no self-control, partaking in many addictions. The boys are the most incarcerated, the least skilled, the least educated, and frankly, the least motivated of all. They're not groomed to respect anyone, but they demand it from everyone. Ladies, we got a mess going. Now, Roe v. Wade, the overturning of this Supreme Court decision, affects all women and girls, but Black women and girls have the most to lose because the collective is in shambles, and you all know it. We all know this. I take this personally. Fortunately, It took like 5 decades so I could successfully leave Blackistan. I always had this piece of these legislation and my wits to fall back upon if the unspeakable happened to me. Now, it could have happened by strangers or family. Let's talk about my would-be sexual predators, shall we? Okay, let's talk about this little list. Dee, 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 dee. Okay, when I was 6, I had a paternal 17-year-old cousin who tried. At age 14, my maternal grandfather tried. Yeah, my parents had just broken up and mom came to live with her parents. Yeah. Age 16, a maternal cousin. He was a second cousin. He tried. At age 17, people tried to ship me off with a boyfriend that I didn't like and had nothing in common with. I was supposed to get married to this guy and have a baby because apparently some mammy in my family did not want me going anywhere, and I had just lost my mom. So yeah, great, great, great. And I had no father to protect me, so there you go. Continued. Then there was some ugly dude on my college basketball team who tried to get me drunk in his dorm room under the guise of me coming to study with a roommate of his. Funny how that roommate never showed up. I buggered off after 15 minutes. Okay? And he was only dressed in boxer shorts and a robe and had a bottle of Crown Royal in his hand to give me. Oh, how considerate. He showered. He got nothing from me. At age 32, I went on a pity date with an accountant who hugged me so tightly after the movie was over, I could barely move. He ejaculated in his jeans. It was the grossest thing I'd ever, it was awful. And he had the nerve to ask me for a second date. Hell no. See, Roe v. Wade ensured that I got the education that I wanted and needed. I got to marry and date who I wanted. I got to choose my children's father and become a mother when I wanted to. And it was best for me. I got married because I wanted to. It's a way to control women. That's all it is. There's no reasonable reason. there's no reason to do what they did. Remember, all the Supreme Court justices cited precedent. We're going to go with precedent. They lied to get the job. These justices perjured themselves to get the job to control you. Now, overturning this decision is designed to pretty much take control away from an already marginalized group of women and make some folks feel good, I guess. It's a control tactic to make women's life choices more limited again. So what are Black and brown girls to do who live in a predatory community where sexual assault is up over 300% in the past year? What do you do? Black babies are being killed every day by stray bullets in the Black collective, as in Chicago. Okay? A little 5-month-old was killed. They wanted daddy, but they got the 5-month-old girl. Black maternal morbidity has been rising for years. Serena Williams almost died. She said it in a interview herself in Vogue. She almost died. Now, if Serena is going to have problems pushing out a baby, really, what hope is there for the rest of us? Think about it. Without force, though, women still control sexual access. You know how people say put on the whole armor of God? Okay, I say put on the whole armor of contraception. Okay, invest in long-term contraception, not something you have to take every day if you can help it. Okay, a patch, an implant, an IUD, something. Practice celibacy or just abstain. What's wrong with that? It's okay if you don't want to have sex now, but if you want to have sex, start some masturbation techniques, please. Adam and Eve, they sell some nice products, a large line of products to get you going. Okay, you don't have to get an STI from anybody. You don't have to have a fool start stalking you after a night of sex. None of that. You don't make babies either. So please go online and order you at least one vibrator and something else. Okay? Get some lube, go to town, figure out what you like. Okay? Be extremely selective about your sexual partners from now on. Until this mess changes, you got to protect yourself. Defense tactics and weapons. Y'all need to get strapped. You need to get strapped. And when you need to, it's center mass. That's the kill shot. Okay? Okay. I don't care if you get cattle prods. Make sure you know how to use them and make sure you keep that cattle prod out of the hands of your perpetrator and a taser also. Get angry and stay that way till this mess changes or at least evolves into something where you have the freedom that you had 3 weeks ago or a week ago. Okay, so these mofos are setting up the chessboard to checkmate your ass and hijack your life, leading to your economic, political, physical, emotional, mental, and educational demise. You know, a Supreme Court comprised of 2 rapists and a pathetic handmaid did this. You need to help undo it. During slavery and up to 1965, white males in this country had absolute control over the bodies of black and brown female and a lot of control over white females, whether he wanted it or not. Black men only had control of black women, something they bitterly had to accept, and they resented it. But they were and are not the victors in this American experiment. Come on. I want you to have a future worth living for, sweetie. Remember, black females are not considered true women worthy of protection. Look up Plessy versus Ferguson and expound upon that Supreme Court decision. See, the Supreme Court is not always right. They fuck up. But you understand this. Black men drank that Kool-Aid and projected it upon black women. Black women could never report sexual assault because we were only sexual playthings for anyone to come along and play with. Didn't matter the age. We were not considered women in a legal sense, a human sense, or a spiritual sense. That is the history that was projected upon us. I want you to have a future worth living. Here's the states that do not restrict abortion procedures. Massachusetts, Colorado, Illinois may come up with something funky. We don't know, but looks like they'll leave it alone. New Hampshire, state of Washington, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Maine, Connecticut, Oregon, Delaware, New York, Nevada, California, and Washington, D.C. Okay? Now, this list may change depending upon the state legislature of that and who's in control. The Dusties want the following. Remember what I told you what an anchor baby was? Dusties are getting women pregnant to use resources. They want the sexual satisfaction. They want the resources that woman may bring to the relationship. And it's not really a relationship. If he's going to say to you, what do you bring to the table? Shit, you are the table. But for a Dusty, he has nothing to bring. Or not much. Okay? He gets her pregnant and gets somebody pregnant and there's that anchor baby. Dada, mama, dada. Okay? No one should ever have motherhood forced upon them. And that is why this ruling is so damn tragic, malicious, and evil. Oh, this horror show. Yeah, they want that too. So remember, a lot of men want to get with you. They'll ask you to have their baby before they even ask to marry you, if they ever do that. Come on, we know what the Blackistani Collective is. Be sharp. Strap up. Get training. Leave the country. So, until we get what we deserve and want, men, heterosexual or bisexual, need to shut up and pay for putang. That's a Ted Nugent term. until your money run out. It's all about the money, right? So he either uses his right hand or, you know, tough for him. Find Lolita, somebody. Champagne or Diamond. He needs to find them and leave you the hell alone. Until next time, ladies, peace, love, and light to you. Bye-bye.